we had a couple of sessions where we talked about the strategy that we need to define before adopting cloud and the planning, which involved discovery and assessment, planning or preparation to migrate. And today we are going to take care of ready phase. Well, ready phase is all about preparation of the destination. When we are adopting for cloud, so it is more or less we are running our workloads on premises and we are trying to move to the cloud. So we have the business strategy, the planning, why we are doing it. We have that answers in place, and we have done the discovery, how many workloads we have, and the assessment and the planning. On the basis of assessment, the waves has been decided and defined. Now we need to think for the destination. And if you guys have heard about landing zones, yes, that comes under ready phase. So in order to start building and deploying solutions using Azure services, we need to prepare this destination environment. It's not like you just create anything and start working. You need to think about various pillars of the foundation or landing zone. So this can be accomplished by first organizing resources, controlling cost, and securing and managing organization. So we can what's wrong with my mouse? Okay, all right. So the very first thing is we can organize the resources. And how we organize the resources, we create the hierarchical structure where we have, what do we call it? Management group at the top, MG at the top. And it can go up to 6 level deep, like management group inside the management group inside the management group. And then we have subscriptions. And we all know subscription is the place where exactly we create our stuff or the resources. Inside the subscriptions, we create resource groups. Resource group is all about the life cycle management of the resources, but we can place different resources in a resource group. But the life cycle is the idea. All right. So that's how the hierarchical structure it creates, like MG at the top, then again MG, then the subscription, and then resource group and the resources. And I'll show you, and let me show you right now. If we go to Azure CAF, Cloud Adoption Framework, if I click here, I'll show you what I mean. It will help you to understand. Let me use pad right here. Under organize, manage, organize, under resources. On the design guide, if you click on the subscription, I hope I'm at the right place. Yes, we are. You see, this is the hierarchical structure I'm talking about. We can have the management group at the top level. Let's call it corporate IT. Then we have another management group inside this one called production, development, and QA. And then we have the subscriptions placed inside this management group, production, and one under development and one under QA. Then we have the various resource groups to hold the resources. And why are we creating this hierarchical structure? Because this will help us to organize our resources, because we can apply Azure policies, RBAC, tax, cost, different things at the various levels, and those things inherit. That's how we can have the most generalized policies and the RBAC applied at the top, and then then keep going inside or the downwards. So this is what we need to do. Organize resources. Okay. What all things that we need to think. As I said, let me write it down here. Azure policies or policies. Then we have RBAC, or rather let me call it identities management. These are the foundational work for the landing zone. And then we need to also think about network, think about security, and I'll show you that in the CAF model as well. We need to think about monitoring. There are various resources available for the monitoring purpose as well in Azure, then that we can utilize as per our need, which include like Azure Monitor, Service Health, Azure Advisor, and Security Center can also help us in. Advisor can help you in the cost management. Security Center can help you in security posture management. Identities, we all know, is the new security boundary. So we need to think for these what we call it, design areas, and this will help us to before we deploy the landing zone. So landing zone, that's what the ready is. These are the various things or the design areas that we need to keep in mind before deploying the landing zone. So infrastructure as code is a common requirement for most cloud adoption efforts. And why I just entered into the IAC is because that's how they say the landing zone is, so that we can deploy. It's idempotent, the IAC, right? And if we are deploying our landing zone with the help of IAC, we can have a lot of things that we talked about embedded in the code, right? The shift to code first environment creation can add a learning curve for team members and impact operations, security, governance, and compliance. And everything could be taken care of through code. If you have heard this, shift left. So we are shifting everything left, everything towards the code. Now, let me show you the design areas that will help us to make it a little better. Okay, if we go to the ready phase right here, this is a huge document. So under Azure landing zones, if we go, these are the design areas that I was talking about. And we need to think about these design areas. These are the platform foundation for the landing zone. So what are the environment design areas? These are identity management, as I said, identity and access management. We need to think about the tenant. Maybe customer already have the tenant, maybe they have Office 365, maybe they want the new one. So we need to understand proper tenant creation, enrollment, and billing setup for the at the beginning, to think about that. We need to think about identity and access management, as I said, network topology, resource organization. We have all covered these. Now we do have compliance design area, which includes security. That means like implement controls and processes to protect your cloud environment, management, governance, and platform automation and DevOps. We all talked about this till now. All right, let's get back now. So a shared platform foundation supports all workloads in a specific cloud platform. It provides centralized controls for identity like Azure AD, security like Security Center, operations, compliance, and governance to the landing zone, governing all workloads and establishing consistent baseline across the shared architecture pillars of security, reliability, performance, cost, and cloud operations. It is critical to establish the platform foundation before deploying landing zone, because its centralized controls are shared across landing zones. A landing zone is the basic building block of any cloud adoption environment. And landing zone is a segment of cloud environment that has been pre-provisioned through code and is dedicated to the support of one or more workloads. And landing zone provides access to foundational tools and controls and establish a compliant place to innovate and build new workloads in the cloud or to migrate existing workload to the cloud. And landing zones use defined sets of cloud services and best practices to set you up for the success. So this is all about the ready phase. If I'll show you again, this is the CAF module, and I'll share it in the description box. You can learn a lot many things from here, but I hope the ready phase is clear now. It's all about preparing the destination. The fancy word is landing zone. It's not actually fancy. We need to think in a different way. We need to think about various foundational platform before deploying the landing zone. All right. So I'm just thinking if anything is left. No, I think everything is covered for the ready phase. Now, the next phase would be adopt one. That simply means we have the plan in place, we have the destination created. Now adopt means the actual migration that we'll talk about in the next video. Thank you for watching, and you guys